During World War II, the Allied forces launched numerous strategic bombing operations against Germany's homeland, causing significant damage to key facilities such as industrial sites. Many weapons and equipment were destroyed even before they could be put into service. It was proven in combat that conventional fighter planes were not very effective in intercepting bombers, such as the B-17, as these large bombers were often equipped with multiple defensive machine guns and flew in densely packed formations, making it difficult for fighter planes to safely retreat from their protective firepower. In mid-1943, the German Air Force planned to install an auxiliary air combat weapon for fighter planes that could launch deadly attacks from a distance of 1,000 yards. Typically, the effective range of defensive firepower for bombers was about 1,000 yards. By the end of the year, a type of air-to-air rocket launcher called the BR-21 began service, which was officially named the Wurfgranit 21 rocket launcher. The BR-21 was a tubular launcher that needed to be fixed under the wings of the fighter plane. The launcher's elevation angle was greater than the wing's angle of incidence, with specific tilt angles varying depending on the aircraft model. When the aircraft was in level flight, the launcher was angled upwards by about 15 degrees to account for the fact that rocket projectiles experience more severe ballistic drop during flight compared to bullets. The BR-21 launched a 210mm caliber spin-stabilized rocket, which was an improvement of the Army's 21cm Nebelwerfer 42 rocket, without fins, and with a tail rocket engine nozzle consisting of multiple small nozzles arranged uniformly and at a certain angle to provide spin to the rocket projectile. The projectile was filled with 18.4 kilograms of solid fuel propellant, allowing it to reach an initial velocity of 320 meters per second, with a maximum range of 1200 m. The warhead of the rocket projectile weighed 40.8 kilograms, and it had immense destructive power, causing significant fragmentation upon explosion. The projectile used a time fuse to detonate within a distance of 600-1200 mobile. Pilots aimed the rocket projectile using the Revi reflector sight, but the accuracy of this unguided rocket was not very high. The Germans realized through testing that it was almost impossible to rely on a single rocket projectile to deliver a fatal strike against bombers. Therefore, the tactical approach for the BR-21 was to launch rocket projectiles in large numbers from fighter planes toward the center of bomber formations to increase efficiency. The German Air Force did not expect the BR-21 to single-handedly effectively destroy or repel Allied bomber formations, but rather to disrupt and intimidate the bomber formations, and create opportunities for subsequent combat operations. If it could damage or shoot down some bombers, that would be even better. According to the German Air Force's plan, single-engine fighter planes would be equipped with a BR-21 launcher on each wing, for example, the FW-190 fighter plane. Heavy twin-engine fighter planes would have 2 launchers on each wing, such as the Bf-110 fighter plane. In reality, some aircraft attempted to use 4 or 6 launchers, and there were even considerations to modify the BR-21 for use by large bombers, with over 33 launchers. Regardless of combat efficiency, this would certainly have a strong visual impact in actual combat. The performance of the BR-21 in actual combat was not good. Otherwise, Germany would not have continued to research various anti-bomber weapons. The launcher itself had some negative impact on the fighter planes. After loading the ammunition, the warhead was completely concealed in the launch tube, and the combined weight of the launcher and the ammunition was about 112 kilograms, which, along with increased wind resistance, would weaken the flight performance of the fighter plane. Fortunately, the launcher was designed to be disposable. The BR-21 was mainly used by the German Air Force for homeland defense operations, and in 1944, the Romanian Air Force also acquired some, which were installed on domestically produced IR-80 fighter planes.